DC here again with another video. This time I would like to bring to you a very important topic, one that we fight with almost every day, right? Should we be dishonest to our children, or should we tell the youths the truth? Okay, now, our motives for dishonesty with our children, whether small or big, though varied, speaks more negatively about us than them. Parents should stop and ask themselves, is the intention in my response to protect my child? Is it to keep him or her safe? To be loving and caring? Or is it to deceive the child? For whatever reason, to make life easier, more times than often for ourselves. Is it okay to lie to our children? Absolutely no way. You know, the different parenting styles that we show to our children, whether be it warm, sensitive, accepting of your children, are just the styles that will contribute to our children thriving. Okay? And the relationship of trust is vital. Now, when our children see us struggling, trying to conceal the truth, you know, that of course is going to ward them off. They will not be open to us, you know. They will more often try to hide things because they do not trust us. Now, if your child asks you a question, for example, Mommy, Daddy, will you always be there for me? As a parent, how will you answer? Truthfully. Because we know as parents, we cannot always be there for our children. But there are times when situations face them and they really need us and we're not there. Right? So to answer a child and say that, yes, I'm going to always be there for you, in as much as you do not see it as a lie, that's exactly what it is. You know, when faced with the hard questions, I honestly feel that we should use that opportunity to have that talk, you know. Let the child know exactly what is going on, right? Now, if a child sees you deliberately trying to conceal the truth, they will start to question your integrity. Now, that's when it becomes problematic. What is the merit of preventable lies or lies that can be avoided? You know, the lies that we tell to avoid racket, you know, or to restrain bad behaviors. As a parent, the question should be, am I prepared to wag the tail, or am I expecting the tail to wag me? You know, like we say in this part of the hemisphere. Do not allow the tail to wag the dog. Let the dog wag the tail. Okay? You know, another example would be you trying to put your child to bed, and after kissing him or her goodnight, you know, the child asks you to stay on, and you'll be like, honey, I'll be right back. When you know to yourself that you're not coming back. Or you're expecting that child to fall asleep before you come back. You know, those little things, even though we do not see them as destructive, it actually breaks your child's heart when you do not follow through with your promises, you know? So try avoid those lies. Avoid them, right? Now, when you think that you are sparing your child, you're sparing your child the trouble of having to go through certain situations, certain experiences. You're actually teaching your child not to be able to manage, you know? So, tough love is great sometimes. You have to let them see life for what it is. Children are very tuned. When we think they are not, they are very tuned in as to what is going on in our homes, right? They need to know that their world will be different, but still remain intact. They have to know it's not their fault, and it's not for them to worry. Reassure them. And they need to know that it's not their place to take charge, right? That's your place as a parent. But most of all, they need to know that both parents are gonna love and still care for them regardless of what happens, right? And as parents, we need to stop trying to make one parent look like the bad apple. That is not going to help. It's not teaching the child anything positive. That let that aspect of it remain in the adults' lives, not in the child's. Okay? That shouldn't be part of their work. Who's responsible, who's not responsible? It may very well be so. One parent may be wrong, but it's not the child's place. That shouldn't be part of the child's life. Okay? Now, some parents feel that trying to preserve childhood innocence is one of the reasons for them to be telling small lies or what you call white lies, right? Some psychologists actually feel that we should feed children the truth, as much truth as they are able to consume, because as they would say, some children are not ready for that level of truth, right? But truth is truth. They shouldn't be level to this shit, okay? And is the sky blue? Are your eyes black? It is what it is. So you have to be able to tell them, because if you don't, some undesirable will, okay? Unfortunately, as I just mentioned, the world that we live in now push us, to tell children the truth, the bare facts, and very early. We cannot rely on the internet. We cannot rely on YouTube. We cannot rely on Facebook. We cannot rely on WhatsApp. We cannot rely on Instagram. We cannot rely on TikTok. We cannot rely on these media to do the telling for us. So we need to, as they would say, man up, right? And talk to our children, man up, right? Information is all around us, truthful, false, right? So let us be the one to impart the knowledge, the right knowledge, right, into our children. So let's be honest, very honest. Be honest about sex education, okay? Be honest about strangers, and not only strangers, because many a times it's the people that they know and that they are comfortable with that are the ills, that are the evil ones. So you need to have these conversations. You cannot pretend that nothing is going to happen and then one day, you know? So don't leave them naive and vulnerable, right? So that's the real dilemma. And there's no right time and wrong time. Oh, the child is too small for that kind of conversation. No, the child is not. The child can interact. The child knows his or her body parts. The child knows what is pleasant, what is not. You don't wait for specified time, especially when you are asked questions and you try to brush it aside. So let's not leave our children vulnerable, okay? Talk to them. Talk to them. Communication. Communication is the key, and it starts at home, right? So, 5 reasons why we should tell our children the truth, right? No lies, parents. The first reason, now our children need to hear from us as parents. Let us be the first teachers, okay? Wouldn't it be nice if life didn't ever suck? It would be. If it was predictable and gentle, and we never have to worry about pain and unpleasantness, right? But that's just not the case. Life happens, and sometimes it happens to her. We know that. When possible, children should be introduced to the ups and downs from the people they trust most. By talking the tough stuff at home first, it helps to normalize difficult topics and create an atmosphere of honesty. If we are honest with our kids, they feel like they can be more honest with us, right? So charity begins at home. Number 2, communication starts at home. I repeat, communication starts at home. Of course, we want to protect our children. We want to fight their battles. We don't want to see them upset, uncomfortable. We don't want them to get hurt, right? So our reactions are natural, and it's hard not to give in to them. But we need to help our children develop the tools they need to deal with the things like rejection and failure. They can build those support tools in 1,000 little ways. And honesty, a honest, judgment-free conversation can be the key. Okay? So have honest conversations with your children. Do not be quick to criticize. Listen to what they have to say. That's going to help them develop those tools that they need to go out into the world and fight their own battles. Not mommy and daddy showing up at the school to fight their battles, okay? So teach them those little things, right? The simple things mean a lot. And the third way we can be honest and why we need to be honest, right? We help them to develop empathy for others, right? Empathy for others. Being able to put themselves in other person's shoes, right? Try to feel the way the other person is feeling. How would that next person feel if I say this, if I do this, if I'm dishonest? So help them in that regards. Now, some people are naturally empathetic, while others, it doesn't come easily for them, right? We can't expect children, especially small children, to empathize on a deep level with people who are struggling. And yet, often they do. And sometimes we say, oh, the child has a wise soul, the child has an old soul. The child is so caring, the child is so compassionate. The child knows how to be empathetic, okay? So the more we explain feelings, right, and emotions behind life events like death and separation and abandonment and those things, the more we explain, the more the children can develop empathy, right? And even resilience. If we support their natural inclination to be honest, and then we can help them plant deep roots that will support them as they grow, okay, as they go through life's experiences, life journey. The fourth reason why we should be honest with our children. Honesty is the best policy, better than any policy that is derived in parliament, right? And this we need to teach to some of our politicians because they have missed that all through childhood. Now, being honest is an important life skill that can make this world a better place, way better place, because we're lacking honesty in every department. We're lacking honesty. Honesty discourages ignorance and entitlement and supports learning and mindfulness. We all ask more questions. We all should ask more questions, sorry. Admit when we don't know the answer and be more open-minded. Shouldn't we? Question everything. When you don't know, say you don't know, but keep an open mind. It's amazing how when someone won't admit they don't know something, they also won't admit they're sorry. And they won't admit there's anything wrong with that. They will never see something wrong with that, right? Because they always know. Now, honesty makes us more open, curious, and accepting. And fifth and finally, when we are honest with our children, they will develop deeper trust for us, right? The more we tell them and trust them with the truth, the more we create an honest dialogue. It doesn't mean we need to go home and tell our kids everything that happened at work and who pissed us off and how the government is this and the government is that. No, it simply means giving them honest answers, which will encourage more honest questions. Okay? More often than not, the uncomfortable person in the room isn't the youngster, isn't the child, but the adult. The question is, why are we uncomfortable? Why? Perhaps it's because we don't know where to start, or we don't have the right words. A good approach is to go with your gut. Be mindful now, if your gut is corrupt, then so will your thoughts be. So, what's on your plate? Be as honest as you feel is appropriate and understandable for your child. Let me repeat that. Be as honest as you feel is appropriate and understandable for your child. Don't go around using big words that the child needs to go to Webster or Merriam's or Oxford Dictionary to check the meaning. Alright? Make it simple, but be honest. And when in doubt, find the tools you need to start talking. Okay? Avoiding the questions or tough lessons doesn't mean they go away. It just means your children will stop looking to you for answers. Let me say that again. Avoiding the questions or tough lessons doesn't mean that it will go away. It simply means that your children, our children, will stop looking to us for the answers. So, don't worry if the answer isn't perfect. Just keep talking. So, if you find this information helpful in any regards, please tell me what you think below. Okay? Thank you. And as always, stay well, stay safe, kiss somebody.